Balloon Beats.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, the Greek god, Paraskevas Xenophontos. How are we doing tonight, Para?
Speechless.
Listen, chat, I know the Yankees brutal loss tonight, but my hope is that we could be your beacon of positivity. Even when the Yankees suck this season, we're gonna stay positive. It's all right, it happens. But shout out to everybody currently in the chat. Let's take attendance / roll call. You guys know the deal. Shout out to Mookie the Goat, KG Baseball, Anthony, Lanika, CJ, Jake, Borg, Aaron. We got Benji, Dirtbike Nation, Anthony, Lori, Nick. I don't know if I said CJ, but if I did, CJ times 2. We got who else? We got Johnny. We got Matt.
We got a Derek in the chat.
We got the legend Derek in the chat. Patch me in, bitch. Derek, you want to come in? I'll send you the link right now. I'll make it happen. But Ryan, Chibuzi, I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Hope everyone had an awesome night despite the Yankees sucking. Derek, I'm going to email you this link right now. You're more than welcome to come on, my man. Hold up. Derek gets the email in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, cool. So, Para, let's take a look at the box score for the game really quick. The Yankees did lose 7-3. Once again, the offense looked absolutely lifeless. Listen, I guess one bright spot, I would say the biggest bright spot of tonight, Aaron Hicks. If we want to look at the bright side of things to start things off, my man went 3 for 4. Probably the best game of the season so far for Hicks after looking absolutely lost at the plate. I'm happy. I'm happy with Hicks.
I'm happy
besides
too.
that, everyone else sucked.
He doesn't fit right with the third spot.
No, but that's the thing. It's you move him down to 5, and clearly the performance comes out of him.
It works. See, the problem with the Yankees is
go for it.
They're great on paper every single year, but when it comes to actually doing what they're supposed to, it's like a dog chewed it up and spit it right back out because the Yankees lead the league.
Analogy.
The Yankees lead the league in double plays.
Yeah, they do. They do
Their
that.
3 to 6 hitters are absolute trash.
Fair enough.
And for the last couple of weeks, everybody's been talking about the Yankees rotation being phenomenal. Ever since they've been talking about it, the only pitcher that's been pitching well is Garrett Cole.
Yeah. And
everybody else is laid an egg. And that's the sad part.
Listen, it's just unfortunate because you look up and down this lineup and you have names of guys who have the potential to be perennial all-stars, right? We're looking at Giancarlo Stanton. My man's batting 175 with a 508 OPS. We're looking at Judge, 257 with a 779. It's just not an ideal situation. But before we get any deeper into this, let me introduce Derek. How are we doing, Derek?
How's it going, man?
Tonight's game was such a beauty, wasn't it?
God, that was rough. I had to come on just because I just want to come on for a few minutes and rant because I had a few things left unsaid that, after I signed off on my people, I was like,
the floor is yours.
What bothers me is that the guys don't seem to be even really hustling that much. We don't see guys taking extra bases. Guys get on base and nobody has a good at bat. Nobody's working the count when they should be working the count, right? If you get a guy on first base and you swing at a sinker first pitch, what are you doing? The time to work the count is not, with 2 outs and nobody on. That's when you be aggressive. The time to work the count is when you have a chance to put pressure on the pitcher, and the Yankees are not putting any pressure on anybody. Have we seen any opposing pitchers sweat against the Yankees this year?
No.
Every single pitcher the Yankees face, they make them look like a Cy Young winner.
By the way, Parr, I don't think we've met.
Oh yeah, no, that's Gary Sanchez.
Oh, that's right. We have.
Yeah,
met.
you know Gary Sanchez.
I'm usually drunk when I come on this show.
It's all right,
But
man.
listen, Derek. I know you touched on this a little bit on your post game reaction, but one thing that really pissed me off today was especially after Clint Frazier's at bat, where he received a really bad strike 3 call, and he was visibly upset. That's one moment I wanted Aaron Boone to storm out of the dugout and stick up for his guy. Right? I mean.
It wasn't even just Frazier. When DJ LeMahieu, who never argues, I've seen Frazier argue before. He gets pissed. He's an emotional guy. DJ LeMahieu will put you to sleep because he's such a steady as she goes guy. And when he started slamming his bat, where the hell are you, Boone? And we can hear everything, right? We can hear everything in the stadium. I didn't hear Boone speaking up at all. Did you hear his voice? I heard some blowhard in the 4th row. He was defending the Yankees hitters more than Aaron Boone was.
I think Boone was more worried about losing DJ out of the lineup than he was getting tossed out.
But that's my thing. It's when DJ was arguing, right? You never see that out of DJ, just like Derek mentioned. And Boone comes out to kind of just like take DJ out. I mean, but it's like he didn't really say much to the umpire. It was more so of just let me get my guy, but not stick up for him. I'm just going to pull him out of the situation.
If Boone were to argue with the umpire tonight, he would have sent them a fruit basket and said, I apologize for arguing on the call tonight.
Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. I talked about this a little bit in our group chat during the game. And if this is the reason Boone isn't really like being too fiery with the umpires this season, I understand it. Like, he did have the pacemaker situation in spring training. Maybe he doesn't want to get himself like too riled up. That could be my only explanation as to why like Boone wouldn't go out there and like start throwing dirt on home plate. You know what I mean?
If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be there. I'm sorry. If you can't do the job, that's part of the job is getting your guys riled up, going out there and stirring up some things when things aren't going your way. If you can't, that's an integral part of the manager's job. If he can't do it, he needs to stay at home. I'm sorry. I love you, Aaron Boone, but take care of your health. If you got to take care of your health, go home and spend time with your family and take it easy and let somebody else take over.
I mean, like, I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to think of like what situation would prevent him from going out there tonight and like getting thrown out. You know what I mean? But also it's like, Derek, we could touch on this because I know you're not a big Hicks guy, but I think tonight was like a great sight to see from Aaron Hicks, like especially struggling all season. He's probably one of the few bright spots from tonight's game.
So the thing about Aaron Hicks is he's been swinging the bat pretty well from the right side of the plate. If you look at his numbers from the right side of the plate, he's getting base hits. He's hitting the ball hard. It's from the left side that he hasn't done any damage, really. We haven't seen that sweet left-handed follow through and launching one into the bleachers. And it's tough for a switch hitter. We got to be fair with Aaron Hicks because they need twice as many reps, right? Because you got to be hot from both sides of the plate. It's very tough to be hot from both sides of the plate at the same time. I thought Aaron Hicks looked good tonight. It was a good positive step, but there's still too many issues. Even though Giancarlo Stanton hit one hard, he had some really bad bats. Gio hit one hard, but right at somebody. Jay Bruce, I'm done with Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce, he's swinging one of those pool noodles.
Listen, I say bring up Dietrich. Can't be any worse. And he's more versatile.
But can he play first base?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can.
Does he play first base? Do it.
I'm pretty sure he plays every position besides short. He even plays the outfield.
Let me spin this at you. Dietrich is just the type of personality that this team lacks right now.
Yes.
He's even if he doesn't hit, he'll bring that energy. He's the guy that he'll bark at an umpire. He doesn't care.
Oh, I know.
He's going to be gone in a month anyway.
No, he's nothing to lose.
Right.
Listen, I want to bring up a couple comments here because there were a couple that spiked my interest. THG says Derek just admits that Unhinged Yankees makes Derek truly unhinged. And Derek, I mentioned this to you when we were doing the watch party. I forgot what you said. You said something like when I was on, you only do something. But I was like, oh, like maybe I'm just a bad influence. Clearly, I might not be the best influence on Derek.
I
Para,
think the Yankees losing is not a good influence on me.
yeah, I guess so. Both ways. Para, Chibuzi has a question for you. Do you want to explain your base running today? Because it definitely wasn't top notch.
Are you surprised?
And you?
'Cause
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah.
Because why would you be running to second?
I
Like,
don't
what was
know.
your goal there? Bro, you had the tying run at the plate, and you just decide to just sprint to second. It's unacceptable.
Well, everybody tells me I don't hustle, so I'm trying to prove myself.
There's no need to be in scoring position right there, Para.
No, literally. Derek, let me bring something up to you, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Gary Sanchez has been the Yankees' best hitter so far this season. And I feel like after coming off the season he had in 2020, coming off this ridiculous offseason where we had fans calling for his neck, I don't think he's getting enough credit. He's really not getting enough credit.
He's looked good behind the plate, too, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
I think he's having a nice year, but tonight sets him back a little bit because tomorrow in the papers, it's going to be Yankees blow chance with the tying run at the plate because of a bonehead move by Gary Sanchez. That can't happen. Base running mistakes at that level. We've seen a few base running mistakes that have run the Yankees out of innings. Brett Gardner the other day getting caught off a third. The Yankees fundamentally are not a sound baseball team right now. They're a team that's built to hit the home run, right? But they're not hitting home runs.
No.
And when you're not hitting home runs, you have to resort to fundamental baseball. You have to move runners. You have to be smart on the bases. You have to make the pitch with the guy on base. You have to work the count when you get your runners on base and know how the pitcher is going to work you to try and get that double play ball. Watch for that ball low in the zone and lay off of it. Zone into something up in the zone and drive the ball. When you get a guy on third, less than 2 outs, look for something you can hit in the air to pick up that sac fly. Right now,
They just don't know the fundamentals.
They're not doing the little things. Right. There's little things. It's not a home run hitting competition. It's a baseball game.
I know.
I don't know if you guys realize this, but the Yankees have a tendency of running a 3-0 count, and when the ball's right down the middle, they don't swing. They end up either striking out or just grounding out, and that's their only tendency. The only person who has amazing situational hitting on the Yankees is DJ LeMahieu.
Yep.
That's one guy out of an entire team. So if you're only going to rely, look at Giancarlo Stanton. I'm a Stanton guy, but when the guy's just swinging at random pitches because he doesn't know what's coming, you're getting paid $32.5 million a year just to sit on the bench and come up once every 4 innings.
I mean, here's my thing, though. It's like we mentioned DJ as being like a great hitter with runner in scoring position, right? He hasn't hit well with runner in scoring position this season. So it seems like he hasn't been able to do it, so no one has been able to do it. Like they say, hitting's contagious. So if DJ's not doing it, it seems like it just disappears from the lineup. But it's just strange because, like, if you look at stats from last season, I know it's super small sample size for like Stanton, for example, but he was very good with runners in scoring position last season. So I don't know how this is just something that disappears. It just seems like the team isn't mentally right now, comma. And when stuff like that happens, you have to look towards the manager to kind of like right the ship or just a leader in the clubhouse. And it seems like the Yankees don't have that right now. And I think that's the most frustrating part of everything.
The sad thing is the season started 12 days ago, and we're acting like we're in the middle of August right now.
Here's one thing. First of all, I want to go back to Giancarlo for a second. He actually did pick up a base hit tonight with 2 runners in on base in scoring position. He did that in Tampa Bay too. He took one through the right side. So I don't want to kill Giancarlo too much. I think Giancarlo, even though his average is low, I think he's got 9 RBIs now. Over a full season, he's on pace for about 140 ribbies. So
yeah,
and he's only got 1 home run. So I still think a monster season is incoming once it heats up for Giancarlo.
Yep.
So I'm going to give him a break there. But there's a lot of guys that are just situationally not taking the right approach. I know we're all big Clint Frazier fans. I love Clint Frazier. He's been taking a lot of pitches right down the middle, a lot of them. And tonight he was a little bit more aggressive. And I think that that's a way that he's going to break out of this is just you've got the talent, buddy. I honestly think that what's happening with Clint Frazier isn't like a skill thing or a mechanical thing. I think he's pressing. I think he's in between because he's starting as the starting left fielder for the first time, and he knows that Brett Gardner's been playing a little, better. And we've already seen that Aaron Boone will sit Frazier down for a couple days and put
which is annoying.
I know, and how can you get into a rhythm that way, right?
Exactly, Derek.
So he has to come up and do something, and so he's pressing because he wants to have a big game every game. I promise, if you just put him out there in left field and let him play for 2 weeks, he's gonna get hot. It's gonna happen. Just put him out there and let him play. I don't care if he's just say, hey, look, I don't care how you do for the next couple of weeks. Just get used to it, and we'll ride you all summer.
Yeah, listen, I'm sick in the head because I love this. Like, I love when we like get heated about baseball. It's like a sick like fetish in my head. But listen, we've been talking about this for 2 days already, and the fact that like Clint Frazier doesn't have the respect of the Yankees organization pisses me off. Like, to a point where it's like, if you don't like the guy this much, to the point where you're gonna like sit him down after struggling for 4 or 5 games, trade him. Because he doesn't deserve this. Like, going into the season, you're telling everybody he's our starting left fielder. He's our starting left fielder. We're talking about a guy who all of us predicted all-star this season, potential for 35 plus home runs. And here he is. He struggled in 4 games before being benched for 2 games so Gardner could play. Brett Gardner didn't come back to be your starting left fielder. He came back to be the 4th outfielder and provide the Yankees with some veteran presence on the bench. So I think it sucks for Clint that he has in the back of his mind now, if he sucks for like 3 or 4 games, that goes through the back of his mind that like, damn, like they're gonna put Brett in instead of me. So he might be trying too hard at the plate. It's definitely something mental, and you don't want your starting left fielder of the future to kind of have those thoughts going through his mind when he goes up to the plate. It's just unnecessary.
Can I just throw one more thing out there? What the hell is Gary Sanchez even doing on the bases there? Brett Gardner should have been in to run for him. You got Higashioka hit 2 home runs last night, is a goddamn stud behind the plate. Sanchez isn't going to get to the bat again. Get a decent runner out there that might be able to score on a double at least.
Talkman. I'd love Talkman out there.
You know, anybody. To me, honestly, and I'm not a fire the manager guy. I'm not one of those guys who every time the Yankees lose says fire the manager. I think the Yankees got to really seriously reevaluate Aaron Boone. I'm sorry.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will
either. I think that him and Cashman are like best buds. They go to the movies and hold hands and shit. But
isn't that the sad part? You had a manager in Joe Girardi. We always ripped Joe Girardi. He was always we always ripped him for all the dumbest things. But realistically, we underappreciated him because he was always the one who got on top of his players. He wasn't that I'm going to be your best friend type of guy. He's like, if you make a mistake, I'm going to call you out on it. And look at that situation with Gary Sanchez in 2017. That's one of the main reasons why he got fired and wasn't brought back. And that's the sad thing.
Listen, I'm not one to I'm like Derek. I'm not one to like call for the manager's head after a couple of rough games, but this isn't a couple of rough games. This is a Yankees team that has underperformed since 2018. With better rosters than what Joe Girardi was working with. Let's not forget, he brought a very mediocre team that was supposed to be rebuilding to Game 7 of the ALCS against a cheating Astros team. There's not a doubt in my mind that if Joe Girardi was managing 2018, 2019, 2020, this year, they would have made the World Series at least once by now. Because there's a different mentality in the clubhouse. You know what I mean, Derek?
The Yankees should look into bringing Jorge Posada back as like a bench coach or something. He was a guy who was not afraid to get in somebody's face. When, he was kind of that enforcer, when somebody was slacking, he would pull him aside. He was the serious. He knows what it takes to win. He's a catcher. He can work with Gary Sanchez. And even if he's not like a manager, he would be a great like bench coach type of guy. Even, the guys that they have on the bench, they all just seem like they're at the beach.
Yeah.
I want to feel like we're in a competition, right? Is this not an athletic performance between...
But that's why we love Garrett Cole so much, because he's one of the few, like, we actually see that from. We're talking about a game we're not even in the middle of April yet, right? Against the Toronto Blue Jays. Garrett Cole is fuming because he's only given up 1 run through 6, and he thinks that that's a terrible start for him. I want to see that sort of mentality from everyone else, not only in the rotation, but in the lineup as well. Like, I think because what the problem is, these guys don't have any sense of accountability. Right, so they, except for Clint Frazier, he's the only one that has any sort of accountability, I guess. These guys know that if they go 0 for 4, they're still in the lineup the next day. They're still batting third in the lineup, right? They could perform however they want because no one's going to be screaming at them in front of their locker after the game. So it's just a different mentality in the clubhouse. that they've tried for the past few seasons and they thought would be good with all the young guys that were coming up after the 2017 season. And I just want to say, like, it hasn't worked out so far. Now, I'm not saying that it will never work out because we don't know what the future holds for this team. But right now, like, seeing these struggles that they've gone through, and like the hot and cold streaks of the past few seasons, it sucks. It really sucks that we have to see a team with so much potential and so much talent on the roster go through streaks where they look like the Baltimore Orioles. Like I feel like we don't talk about this enough, how bad this team was last year. And yes, they faced a lot of injuries, but even when the team was fully healthy, they just weren't a team that played up to their best potential. Like, this isn't anything new that we're seeing this season. Let's not forget, the Blue Jays were only one game behind the Yankees for second place last season.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a team that was unstoppable.
3 double plays tonight, leading the league in double plays hit into. Hitters 3, 4, 5, and 6 combined. Last place in every offensive category in Major League Baseball. It's just not going to work that way. Got to do something. And you can't just sit around. You can't sit around all season and say, well, it's early, because before you know it, you're 7 or 8 games back and it's not early anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the only thing we could do now is just like sit back and enjoy the ride. Because like as fans, as commentators, whatever you want to call us, like we have no input on any situation, right? I could go make a video about why the Yankees need to have more faith in Clint Frazier and scream about it until I'm blue in the face. At the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do anyway, right? And Aaron Boone's going to bench Clint Frazier if he goes 0 for 3 tomorrow and start Brett Gardner. And they're not going to care what anybody else thinks. But Derek, I don't know if you have to go or anything, but I do want to bring up one more point about the Clint Frazier, Brett Gardner situation. The Yankees have such a deep analytical team, right? And we always hear like they don't believe in hot and cold streaks. They'll bench Giancarlo Stanton if he has 5 straight home runs just because it's a scheduled day off. Why do the hot and cold streak things only apply when it comes to Brett Gardner and Clint Frazier?
That's a really good question. It does seem to be a bit of a double standard with him.
It's weird.
It's almost like they want Clint Frazier to fail. I get that. Like,
I don't want to say that, but that's what it seems like.
And I know that sounds. I mean, if some other person said that, I would rip them and be like, "What the hell are you saying?" But I hear myself saying it, and it sounds bad. But it's almost like they're looking for a reason. You know, you ever meet somebody who's just looking for a fight? You know, what I mean, they're just one of those people that
Harris, that guy.
Yeah, he seems like it. No, so the Yankees just seem to be looking for a reason to put Clint Frazier's ass on the bench, and I don't know why. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm perplexed.
You even hear it in the Yes broadcast a couple of nights ago. Brett Gardner hits a double, and I love Michael K, but he goes like this. He's like, oh, he hit a double tonight. Does that mean Brett Gardner's going to start tomorrow? Is Clint Frazier going to get the day off again?
Right. The second one of the backup outfielders, Mike Tauchman, hits a seeing eye single through the right side, and frickin' Paul O'Neill fillets him for 5 minutes, and Frazier, he ropes one 115 miles an hour off the left field wall, and he's on the bench the next day. I just don't get it.
It sucks. But listen, here's my thing. I spoke with Clint Frazier in 2019 in Scranton, and this was kind of like when they sent him down for the defensive struggles, whatever. And I asked him about like the next man up mentality, what he thought about it. And what Clint said was, I miss when I was the next guy up, right? And I think like that quote for some reason has just stuck with me like throughout the years, in the sense of he never really felt like he was the next guy up for the Yankees, right? Like even when he was like a highly touted prospect in 2017, he would come up, rake, and then they would just send him down. So I feel like he must still have that same mentality now, that it's like no matter what I do, no matter if how good I perform, if I'm bad for 1 week, the organization completely loses faith in me. And like I hate to keep harping on it, but it's something that just boggles my mind to like a different degree.
It's unreasonable to expect, what the Yankees expect out of him. But honestly, what Clint Frazier needs to do is he needs to have a night where he goes 4 for 5 with 2 home runs, drives in 6 runs, makes a great play in the field, and hopefully that'll take some of the pressure off.
It's so unfair to expect that out of him.
I know, but sometimes you just got to go out there and do what you got to do. Hopefully my man eats his Wheaties tomorrow. I'm going to take off, guys. I got to get up early in the morning, get my COVID vaccine.
Hey, let's go, Derek. Yeah. Hopefully it's not Johnson & Johnson.
No, I got enough blood clots as it is.
All right, Derek, I'll see you tomorrow. 643 DP. Stay tuned, Derek's channel. 6:30, right? Okay, nice, Derek. No, chat. I think we're going live on Derek's channel at 6:30 tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Let's take some questions from the chat. We got Sean in the chat. Love Sean. Brett Gardner is the reason why Clint isn't reaching his potential. Sean, I agree with you. And we talked about this in the offseason when they re-signed Brett, right?
Yeah. But going back, don't you remember Marley Rivera's question asking him, do you think you're a good left fielder? Like, honestly, nobody else gets that question except for Clint. And that's the sad part. Ever since that question, Clint's been he's been struggling.
Bro, that's like, could you imagine Marley Rivera like asking Jay Bruce, do you think you're a good first baseman?
What?
He'd be like, yeah. But Clint says, yeah, times 3. Let's see what we got. KG Baseball says, imagine if Yankee fans chanted "We want Joe" during a game. They never would. Because it's really weird. Yankee fans are super hypocritical. Now I don't know if this is just because like we're like in a heavy minority in the fan base here, but I would say heavy majority of the fan base is not a fan of Aaron Boone as manager. Fair?
I would agree.
Okay, cool. So ALDS Game 1 comes around, and they're doing like pregame introductions. I guarantee you, any amount of money, Aaron Boone is getting a huge ovation from Yankee fans when they call his name. You know that. Yes.
It's good. I'm not one of those guys, but
no, but the majority of the stadium will. The same way everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but majority of fans kind of like rag on Brett Gardner if he's performing poorly, just like last season, right? When Brett Gardner plays his final game in Yankee Stadium, he's going to get a standing ovation. He's going to get roses thrown at his feet, and bandanas are going to be waved, especially by Brian. So I think Yankee fans are very hypocritical in that sense of holding players accountable until it actually comes down to it. But I will give Yankee fans credit when it comes to on the field performance. Yes, they do hold people accountable. Like go back to like the 2015 wild card game, for example. Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner, Carlos Bell, they're all getting booed out of the building. But before the game, they're all getting cheered. So
I'll say this. I didn't mean to go through the chat, but I believe there was a comment that said, imagine the Yankees booing Aaron Judge. The Yankees fans are going to boo you regardless. If you're having a crappy night every single night, you're going to get booed every single homestand.
Yeah, I don't know who said that, but shout out to whoever said that. Jack says, get Dan out here. Yo, if Dan was out here right now, all he would be talking about was Judge's catch tonight. That would be
Judge's OPS in the last 4 years.
Love Judge, love Dan. Let's see. We should have kept Girardi as our manager. He actually knows how to stick up for his players, and he also knows how to manage normally. Joe also does speak his opinions to players too. Hashtag bring Joe back. He's in Philly now. That's not happening. So
and they're in first place, I believe.
Are they? I don't know if anymore because they lost 2 to the Mets tonight. Well, they're losing the second game. Did they lose it already? I think so. Yeah, they lost 2 to the Mets tonight. So I don't know if they're still in first. But let's bring the box score back up really quick because I do want to talk about the pitching performances from tonight. We didn't get to hit on that. Jameson Taillon made his second start for the Yankees. Didn't look too good. Looked worse than his first start. 3 2/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. At some point, it seemed like the Yankees kind of just left him out there to dry. It wasn't a good start, but I still have faith in Taillon moving forward.
No, I agree. It's just a lot of the runs he gave up were off like grounders or anything that the infield messed up. So
I think he gave up a couple bombs. He gave up 1 home run. I mean, and then Licky gave up another one. I kind of feel bad for Lucas Licky. He hasn't been that solid. He's not going to be up for too long. I'm pretty sure he's going to go down once Britton comes back. But Sessa's looking really good. As Chad all knows, I'm a Sessa guy. Sessa is one of the Yankees' most underrated relievers. People love to hate Luis Sessa. I don't know why. I think because they just have bad memories of him being like really bad in the past. But he hasn't given up a run so far this season. Gave the Yankees 2 clean innings of work tonight. Albert Abreu looked completely lost. Like, bro, this guy just had absolutely no control tonight at all.
Didn't somebody in our chat say that he gives Dylan Betances vibes?
Yes, exactly. Dylan Betances vibes. Let's see what we got. Judge's almost home run. Dan would be talking about that right now. That's exactly what Dan would be talking about. Oh, Lord, the reason the Yankees are bad is the GM and team building. Like, for example, why does every dude in the rotation has a Tommy John? Well, I mean, I wouldn't say, like, that's kind of, like, the GM's fault. I mean, it kind of is, but the Yankees don't really have an injury problem right now. So the Tommy John doesn't have anything to do with it. I think it's more of the mentality in the clubhouse, right? And Cashman should know that there's a poor mentality in the clubhouse. He had to go to Buffalo last season to talk to the team. Like Cashman is aware that there's like a clubhouse mentality situation. But Aaron Boone's the guy. And like I mentioned before about how much we could talk until we're blue in the face about how we think Clint Frazier should be starting every day. We could say the same thing about how we think Boone should be gone. They don't care. They don't care about us.
A pitcher would give up 10 runs, and he said he had some good stuff tonight.
Exactly.
Really?
It's frustrating. I don't know, Para. I know, like, we always like try to have like upbeat lives, especially after like brutal losses. But it's tough after a while. Well, especially when we keep having brutal losses like these, you know?
In 2017, you saw a lot of fire from that team. You saw them, they wanted to win. They saw they were having fun in that clubhouse. And from 2018 on, they look lifeless. In 2018, we all chanted we wanted Boston because we wanted to prove that we're better than Boston. But after that game where Judge hit that home run off David Price and he was walking out of Fenway Park playing New York, it's Boston's like, that was their trigger point. You're like, you want to be cocky? We'll go into your next stadium. We'll go into your stadium. We'll score 16 runs on you. And what did the Yankees do? And then 2019 is the same scenario. We're lifeless. And then 2020, pandemic hits. We start off 8-1, and we're battling for second place in the division. And then here we are, 2021. We start off the season April 1st, and we're like battling for third or fourth place. There's no firepower in that locker room because everybody thinks we're making millions of dollars. We're all amazing on paper. We're just the best team in baseball. You're not the best team in baseball.
Para, I'm gonna be honest. That's the most mellow rant I've ever heard in my life. Like, you just ranted without raising your voice above like 3 decibels. I love it. No, but
I'm being respectful to my family. Every majority of them are sleeping right now.
No, listen. I think like you're right in the complete sense of the Yankees had so many opportunities the past 2 seasons. They just got outclassed by teams that had more heart. We saw it in 2018, 2019, 2020. The Rays had so much more heart than us last season. I'm surprised we took them to Game 5. But like, I want to stop looking back on the past, right? And it sucks because like I don't want to have to do. All right, this comment kind of threw me off by Jalen. Power with a Boone rant. That's comment of the night, Jalen. When a comment throws me off track, you know it's a good one. But listen, I'm tired of like harping on the past. And what I'm afraid of is 5 years from now, we're going to be looking back on all these years and being like, damn, what could have been, right? And like, that's my biggest fear, especially like looking at this season, right? We went into 2021, and what did we say, Para? We said that this is the Yankees' best opportunity in the past, 15 years to win the American League. And it looks like they're just squandering it. Like, okay, now I'm about to get heated because now it's like processing through my mind. Why doesn't this team realize that this is the year? Going into this season, no one in the American League had better talent on paper than the New York Yankees. We talked about this all the time. The Chicago White Sox, sure, a close second, maybe, not that close. But, bro, like, the Yankees were the team to beat. And they should have gone into this season with, like, I don't want to say chips on their shoulder, but a can of Pringles on their shoulder. You know, I like that analogy. But, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, where's these guys coming out on the field and being like, yeah, we're the best team in the American League. Let's show it. Like, where is that?
Where is that team where when somebody on the team hit a home run, they would take the helmet off and start cheering and being happy for one another? What's that team that were like fired up? They're like, season's on, we're ready to go, we're the best team. Here we are, a team grounding into double plays. Oh, I'm gonna get to that comment because that comment, the Yankees love eyebrows more than they love facial hair, and that's the sad part.
How do they let you keep it though? Like, they're cool with it? Because technically it's facial hair.
I'm just like Brett Gardner. I have stuff against Boone and Cashman.
Yeah, it makes sense. Gotcha. Corporate Yankees. There you go. Nick says it's still early. The season's not lost yet, but things do need to change ASAP. Yes. I think that this is important to remember. It's very early in the season. We talked about this yesterday. It's not even mid-April. So
it's
keep that
early,
in mind too.
But Derek made a great point. The season's going to catch up, and you're going to look back and be like, what could have happened? We could have won those games. So,
bro, let's say we lose the division by 1 game. Games like these are ones that we'll look back on.
That's like losing a double extra inning game against the Orioles in mid-April.
Yeah. CJ says they need a spark. They need that moment when they realize, oh, we are absolutely horrible. Let's play the way we want to before it gets out of control, but they're too dumb to even realize it. I don't know when that moment's going to hit them. I really don't. I
Is
don't
it
know
gonna
if it
be-
can hit them. I don't know if this team has it in them to like have a flip, a switch be flipped. Yeah, a switch be flipped. And just kind of like wake up and be like, yo, we actually have to start playing up to our potential. Because like I just said, we're the best team in the American League.
You think that's gonna happen when guys like Zach Britton and Luke Voigt come back?
I think it has to happen when Voigt comes back. I think Voigt is that guy. Listen, if we're looking at the Yankees lineup that we were expecting going into the season, the one guy where I could say if he got injured and came back would be like the biggest spark in the clubhouse would be Luke Voigt. Don't get me wrong, like Aaron Judge, when he's on, best hitter in that lineup. Giancarlo Stanton, potential MVP. But I think Luke Voigt just provides a different energy to the clubhouse. I'm not even talking potential-wise. I'm talking energy and just liveliness in that clubhouse. I think Luke Voigt is that guy that they're missing. And listen, I think Derek made a good point. I think it is Derek that brought this up. Call up Derek Dietrich. I think that I'm so done with the Jay Bruce experiment. Derek Dietrich can't hurt anybody. He's more versatile. If you could have Dietrich and Odor, bro, I love that. I love that. CJ also says someone needs to pump some life into them. They think they're fine, but they have to realize they aren't. They need to put some heart into their gameplay. Fair enough. Unfortunately, I missed the game. Did they not look good again? Marcus, do I have a story to tell you, my man? No, they didn't look good again. Base running, putrid. Hitting, putrid. Double plays, excellent. Gotta love those double plays. What talent? Our rotation is a mess, but the talent's there, right? We're talking about former Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. We're talking about Jameson Taillon, who has the potential to be the Yankees' number 2. We're talking Jordan Montgomery, who's an excellent left-handed pitcher. Domingo Germán, who Brian Cashman said would be the Yankees' number 2 at worst. The talent is there, especially with the rotation, but the talent is there even more so with the lineup. Like, we're talking about a lineup that we were expecting to break the home run record this season, and they very well still can. I don't want to overreact over like a game against the Blue Jays to start the season, but we're getting deeper and deeper into the season now, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, why don't the Yankees teach Jay Bruce how to dig out balls? His defense at first base is putrid too.
Do you see the way he runs?
I don't know if anybody else could relate to this. Jay Bruce reminds me of my elementary school gym teacher.
Did you make that analysis of Jay Bruce being your 65-year-old uncle playing kickball with you?
No, I don't know who made that. It might have been Jalen. But no, I get that vibe too. Yeah, but like, damn. They need more players like CeCe with his passion. The dude was more passionate. Girardi. Bro, I miss CeCe. I miss Didi. I miss
Nick Swisher.
Yeah, but that's like kind of deeper in the past. I miss Chris Carter, Steven Drew, Kei Gawa, Michael Pineda,
Jacoby Ellsbury, Bubba Crosby, Richie
Bubba
Sexton.
Crosby, Miguel Cairo, bro, spark plugs. Spark plugs. Oh, Jalen wants to make it clear. I did not make that terrible joke, Pat. I'm better than that. That's true. No, that's Jalen. I'm sorry. Won't happen again. Please don't report me to HR. I think the Yankees should let their players be more loose, as in letting them be wild, go crazy, and have facial hair. Yo, Para, I'm surprised they let you have that little facial hair. Nice. You should do like that.
No.
Do it. Okay.
We're in a pandemic, bro.
So you can't. Okay, that makes absolutely no sense at all. It's not like you're putting your spit on my face. Pause. If the trade deadline was today, who do you think would get traded and for who?
Everybody.
I would love Trevor Story in exchange for Rob Refsnyder. No, but seriously, like, bro, if imagine like a package for Trevor Story, I think I would deal Luke Voigt, Clark Schmidt, Tyler Wade, Estevan Florial. Get that deal done, bro.
I don't think Clark Schmidt's getting traded.
But would you do it for Trevor Story?
If he wasn't in a Tommy John situation, yes.
Is he? Wait, he's in a Tommy John situation?
No, he's still having problems with his arm. He's getting a second.
If that dude needs to get Tommy John, I'm rioting. Okay, rioting. Also, bro, where's Davy Garcia? Like, bring this kid up, or like, I hate the service time manipulation thing. It's annoying. It's really annoying.
We need to get rid of Domingo Germán.
True. I'm not a Domingo guy. We know that. I don't think anybody's a Domingo guy. I was hoping like after spring training, after his fantastic spring training, that he could kind of like provide the team with some sort of pitching help, but he doesn't, and it sucks that they still have faith in him. Brandon misses Shane Robinson.
Okay. Shut up, Brandon.
Yo, Brandon kind of looks like Shane Robinson. Think about it.
Short, skinny, thinks they can play baseball.
Oh my God, Joe Parr's just taking shots. I don't think Brandon's that short. He's not that skinny. Damn. Jeez. Thanks for coming, Bruce. Now get out. That's fair. You're nuts if you think Voit goes on a deal for half a season of Story. Yo, Jalen, call me nuts, bro. We will argue about his Story trade next time I'm on. We will, bro. We will. Because I would give up just about anybody for Trevor Story. I'd give up Gleyber Torres.
Jalen, question. Do you think the Yankees have a better shot of trading for Trevor Story or bringing back Yoelis Chacin?
Now you're gonna get him way too excited, and he's not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Thanks a lot, Para. He's gonna call me like 3 a.m, hysterically crying and going, Yoelis. It happened before, so thanks, Para. It's gonna happen again. I miss a dude like A-Rod, like that level. We were asked a question on the pregame before. If you could insert any Yankee like in their prime on this team right now, who would you pick? I said 2007 A-Rod. Could you imagine putting 2007 A-Rod into this lineup? Complete 180.
Give me 2004, 2005, Jason Giambi.
Wasn't he trash then?
No, he was actually pretty good in 2004.
There was some point around that time when Jason Giambi like had a really trash season for the Yankees. I don't remember when it was.
If it was 2004, then I apologize.
Okay, 2004 he batted 208 with 12 homers. So if you want to put that Jason Giambi on this Yankee team, like go for it, Para. Like that's all you, bro.
I forgot the season he went off, so
no, it's fine. You'll get over it. Imagine inserting Cy Young CC with Cole or David Cohn. Cy Young CC is a very good option too. Yo, imagine like game 1, game 2 ALDS. You got back-to-back Cole CC. You're not losing a series. You're not.
And then your number 5 is Kiyogawa.
Okay. Amy says, would you rather give up Clint or Gleyber? Obviously, I would rather give up Gleyber, but the Yankees would, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees deal Clint for like a bag of Doritos at this point. Like they clearly don't like the guy. It sucks.
No, it's sad.
Oh, pain. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Okay, Brandon said, can we get Cy Young, Tyler Clippard back? On that note, I'm pretty sure it's going to wrap up the stream for tonight. Appreciate everyone for stopping by. We are going to go, well, I am going to be going live on Twitch. We got game 3 of the ALDS with the Kansas City Royals, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. Also, chat, I'm going to throw the link into the Discord for the Discord into the stream as well if anybody wants to join that. Bunch of people from the chat talk about the game on there. It's good stuff. But Para, you want to meditate? What should we meditate for tonight?
The Yankees actually getting some hits and runs.
Fair enough. Ready? 3, 2, 1, meditate. So peaceful, bro. I imagine 15 hits tomorrow. Just saying. Listen, chat, do keep in mind the Yankees play a day game tomorrow. 1 p.m. start time. I know Wednesday day game, not a big fan of it either. So the pregame is going to start on the channel tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So bright and early. Come hang out with us. And then we're going to be live directly after the game as well. So stay tuned for that. I am going live on Twitch, like I just said, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. I'll be live on there in about 2 minutes. So come hang out while I play MLB The Show. You guys know the deal. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Appreciate you all. Have a good night. Peace.